Hi everyone. So within a couple of hours of my last LinkedIn video from the Squinting Klingon about B2B social media lead generation, sales and marketing, an old colleague got in touch with me. And here's what he said. He said, it's good to do what you're saying, and sometimes over-enthusiasm makes you pitch sales on the very first meeting. So I was delighted to hear from him that what I was saying made sense. And just for your information, my ex-colleague is in a really niche software as a service business targeting airlines. He then went on and said this to me. Vimal, I am doing lots of cold calls and reaching out to existing connections, to build a lead pipeline, he said. I then responded, cold calls, that's a waste of time. Of course, he got a little miffed, and then he proceeded to tell me, you know what, I generally receive about 60% of responses. And I said, wow, that's amazing. I was honestly expecting to hear that it was less than 20%. So it sounded too good to be true until he admitted, when I asked him more questions, that, of that 60%, sometimes not even one person would be qualified as a lead. Okay, sanity restored in my world. So look, cold calling is the equivalent of interruption advertising. Do you remember the good old days of television when you had adverts every 15 minutes? Adverts that you couldn't fast forward? Do you remember exactly what you did? You'd get up, go get a drink, go to the toilet, mute the sound. Basically, you tune out. You do anything to not watch the ad. How is cold calling the same? Well, it's calling or emailing me based on the assumption that I want what you're selling. It's interrupting my day. It's interrupting my planned activities. And it means I have to drop everything else that I'm planning to do in order to read or listen to you pitch and then respond to you. Isn't that exactly the same as those adverts on TV? And frankly, the same adverts today on YouTube and Facebook. Highly irritating. So I don't know about you, but I am tuned out and off from most adverts these days. Just like millions, maybe even hundreds of millions around the world. So if you're a B2B sales, marketing or biz dev person, should you be abandoning cold calls? Is that what I'm saying? Absolutely. Unless you're desperate to make contact with someone who, unlike the 600 million other inhabitants of planet LinkedIn, is still surviving in a cave. Actually, even then, why would you? Cold calling is just going to end up badly in terms of a negotiating position for you, right? You're going to end up being so desperate, coming across as so desperate to land them, that you're going to have no leverage, and you're probably going to end up selling your product at super low margins. Okay, anyway, what do you do then if you don't cold call? So here's what I told my ex-colleague, and I'm going to share it with you. Number one, go social. Seriously, try it. It's not that bad. It's actually quite fun. LinkedIn is the professional equivalent of hanging out at the bar where your customers are hanging out. And you're using your wit, charm, and knowledge to strike up conversations with them. Number two, how do you do it? You need a strategy. Here's a suggestion. Do you remember the song YMCA? Okay, you've now got it bouncing around in your head. I know, I'm sorry. Finish singing the last line. Done? Okay. Now I want you to think of YNCA. So Y stands for yourself, your profile, your value prop from the perspective of your ideal target audience. N stands for network. Not just your own network, but the network of your connections as well. Sell through your network, not just to your network. Connect and build your tribe. C stands for content. What you say, how often you say it, and on which platforms you say it. Everything that you say, remember, has to be meaningful, it has to be relevant, it has to add value to your ideal audience. And last but not least, A, action and reaction. Respond, adjust, and react again. Use the right metrics and tools to help you with the discipline of executing your strategy. So remember YNCA as a strategy for the next time that you want to draft a social plan of action for yourself. Better still, reach out to me for some help and advice. I'll be happy to help. Take care and have a lovely weekend. Here's the Squinting Klingon signing out.